Can you be your own bank with gold and silver? Can you beat the system? Or will the banks just put their grubby little mitts over all of your business? Like, I've heard telltales of customers having their funds withheld when they are selling their gold and silver. Hopefully that won't happen for the gentleman who is selling this monumental stack of silver and gold that we have got listed for him on our website right now. So join me as we have a precious metal ramble about your favorite topic, banking, and also there's a lot of silver and gold for sale at very cheap prices. Let's go. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to another precious metal ramble, not to be confused with a full stack video, as there is a beautiful full stack of gold and silver out here on the table. We'll have a look at this as we go throughout the video, but I also want to talk in the video about some of the really weird banking situations that I've heard some of my clients and customers being involved with, where they've had money withheld that's been sent to them by people when they've sold gold and silver. It's just getting really bad at the moment. So I'm going to pass some commentary on that kind of situation, share some of my thoughts, hints, tips and tricks about what we can do to protect ourselves as stackers, investors and sellers if you are a seller. Now, if you're not a seller and you're just squirreling away a large stack of silver and gold for 20, 30, 40, 50 years or the next generation, get your ducks in order, get your records in order. That's what I'll say right now as a big tip for the video. Now, as we also go through this beautiful stack of silver and gold, you'll see that it is all for sale on our website. There's a link in the description box below where you can find all of this silver and gold for sale. We'll have Britannias at dirt cheap prices, kilo bars of silver in so many different varieties. They will vary in price a little bit from some of the more generic stuff like the Umicore's to some of the really lovely special bits that are just so beautiful. Like that's an old school lovely bar of silver. Love it. And then there's some beautiful premium stuff like a Geiger bar, and oh my goodness, if it's not sold, you know what's going to happen to it. There's the bolt cutters. We're going to chop it up if it's not been sold. So there's your fair warning. Go and buy that Geiger. But there's a lot of gold and silver here to sell, and I am intrigued to see how it goes with the Backyard Bullion Buyers Club. This is an entire stack collection from a customer who is looking to part with it, and I thought it was very interesting to talk with that person about selling and about some of the issues around selling. We talked at length about various different options that there were for this kind of thing, and I'll talk about that as we go as well. So a lot to get through. It's a busy one, and I am going to be very busy selling all of this stuff as well. So let me know your thoughts on the subjects that we talk about in this video today down in the comment section. Have a guess as well how much silver's on the table, because there's a lot. It really is quite a lot. And also gold. Total value. Let's have a go. Let's see if you can get a fun total down in the description box, or the comment section, I should say. And if you are enjoying the video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. 70% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. Let's keep marching and getting closer to that mythical 100,000 subscribers. So, silver for sale, lots of it. And it's very interesting to talk with somebody who's got a sizable physical holding that is looking to part with it right now. There's a lot of talk about the rise potentially coming for silver and gold, and the ultimate crux of why all of this is being sold by the customer is around practicalities. It's too much, it's too big, he said. There's too much to think about, and there's too much potential risk involved, of course, as well, with physical silver and gold. Now, there is secure storage, off-site storage, which I would highly recommend to everybody. If you don't have off-site storage and you have this much gold and silver, then you need to have a good long hard think about your life choices. But the practicalities of this kind of thing is not to be underestimated in a long way. Now, of course, gold is a lot more practical. You can hide gold a lot easier, store gold a lot easier, but when you have large amounts of silver, that does become a bit of a problem. Now, in terms of the practicalities of selling this kind of stuff, it is not easy, which is why our Buyers Club exists. You know, we as a respected and trusted member of a precious metal community can and will take large amounts of silver and gold like this from somebody, and you know, that trust put in me for that is just absolutely crazy. And well, it's not crazy because I'm not going to run away with it and move to the Caribbean. Certainly, whilst it looks like a phenomenal sum of money out here on the table, this is not enough by any stretch to just move to the Caribbean and retire in hiding. And that's part of the practicality issues that you face with gold and silver. It's very, very illiquid in that sense. You can't just take things with you, especially if it's large amounts of silver. Gold, yes, you can, but even in that sort of big, we make out that gold is really valuable and super, super valuable, but in a sort of span of an entire life, when you want to try and maybe just get off the grid and be your own bank, it's not practical. It's not at all going to work. And there's a reason why billionaires don't own stupid amounts of gold and silver. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of it. Now, the practicalities of selling silver like this come into their own even more when you have problems with the banks. Our favourite topic of all time, I know. So I did a video not that long ago talking about when I bought 25 kilos of silver from a gentleman in a bank in a high street in person, and the bank held my transaction for a good hour and a bit whilst I was trying to sort it out, and they were asking me lots of very invasive questions about my business and everything about the transaction and even the person I was buying from, which I thought was a little bit, it's really invasive, isn't it? We don't like that. But at the same time, a lot of people thought it was good to protect the buyer. The buyer, me. At the time, I was the buyer, of course I was. So very interesting from that perspective, but I hadn't really heard too much about, until recently, the opposite. The sellers of some of this kind of stuff getting really quite in trouble almost from their bank. They're certainly looked at in a very awkward light often as you have to be doing something illegal. If you sold, as we're going to perhaps do for this gentleman here, this to, 50 different individuals, and they all average out, £600-700, then perhaps the bank's going to look at that and be like, hang on a minute, my friend, there's something a bit unusual here. We'd like to ask you a few questions about it. And I have been on the end of that kind of question before, but in a slightly different way. So when I got started with my whole poured silver business back in the day, I was just using my normal bank account for everything, thinking, I wasn't a limited company, I wasn't registered as a company, I was just doing a hobby, all good and all said and good and done. But no, my bank rang me up and said, excuse me, we think you might be running a business. And I went, yeah, I'm self-employed. And I went, you need to have a business bank account for that. Not all banks like that kind of thing happening on personal accounts. And whilst it's not illegal in the sense that, you have to register a bank account if you're a limited company, if you're a trading actual company that's been registered with Companies House. As a sole trader, you don't necessarily have to do that. But most banks will have it in their terms and conditions that you do have to have a business bank account. Of course they do, because they get to charge you exorbitant amounts of money for every transaction. To put it in perspective, you can get different deals where you have free banking and so on, but my bank charges me 35p per transaction that I receive. So if somebody sends me 35p, I earn nothing. Thanks very much for that, my bank. And I have thought about changing business banking numerous times, swapping over to these new business banking deals every now and again where you get free banking for a certain amount of time. But it just ain't practical. It's just not at all. And you have to still manage the old bank account, because there will inevitably be people who, when you sell something again and you then send them the details, they won't look at the numbers on the bank account. They'll just go, oh, it's Backyard Bullion bank account. And they'll send it to the existing saved payee that they have. So it's just one of those things where they shaft you over and over again. But the shafting doesn't stop there, because I've definitely, I've heard it, and I've had stories told to me. I think I've shown this one already. This bar is so bloody good, this one. Anyway, I've had people tell me that they've sold stuff and then they've had their banks hold the money away, and they've been asked for a lot more information about what it is they're selling, who they sold it to, how did they, there's questions there that I think are being asked because the banks now have got this responsibility to they have to repay anyone that's defrauded. So I think now that there are people there are banks, that are challenging their own customers that are receiving money that they've legally sold from their investments, just, normal citizens doing normal things, going, yeah, I bought a bar of silver and I sold a bar of silver. I made some money on it, or I even didn't make money on it. I just sold it and it's now money back in my bank account. And the bank goes, well, do you know what? We need more information about that. We need to know what you did, where you bought it from, all of this. How did you meet the person that you sold it to? What was their source of funds? What's their date of birth? I've even had customers being asked to provide the date, births, and copies of ID of people they've sold to. And it's like, just a private individual selling stuff. I think that's just nanny statism, and it's not good, and I don't like that. Now, I am a big fan of fraud prevention, and yet banks will be like, sure, we need to make sure that you're not being scammed by someone. But when you've got money that's come into your bank account, I feel like that's just that should be your money. Now, yeah, there are a lot of criminals out there that will be doing some rather naughty things, and I'm sure there are plenty of different algorithms out there that will be working overtime to work out where those criminals are and what they're doing. But penalising everybody for the sake of a few people seems a little bit of a nuclear option, and it just puts more distrust into that banking system that we all really, I'm not a fan of that kind of thing at all. So very interesting to see if the seller of this batch has any issues at all. I did talk with him about that, and it is what it is. We'll have to just wait and see how that goes. But nevertheless, banking woes aside, we have here a really beautiful batch of silver and gold, and I've hopefully done a pretty good job of showing the majority of it up close and personal. Let's have a look at one of these Umicore's here. Now, as I mentioned, it's all for sale. So anything that is currently still available, post me emailing out our newsletter list, will be on our website right now as you watch. If you're watching this a few days after release, maybe none of it will be available. Maybe some of it will. I don't know. We'll have to see. I said to the gentleman who's selling all of this that we, a few things. First of all, pricing wise, we're being very competitive. We have to be. The market right now is very competitive. So we've price comparisoned things like the gold against some of the big dealers out there. So if you're buying from us, you're not getting anything. You're getting it cheaper from a dealer. It might not be that much cheaper, but you're getting it cheaper from a dealer. And you're also helping our business rather than just one of the big dealers out there. If you're buying the silver, you're getting a much better deal from a lot of these dealers out there. It's just pure and simple you are. There is no way of avoiding that. How fast we will sell this much here, I don't know. Did any of you have a good guess down in the description box? I've said that again, I said it at the beginning. Down in the comment section about how much value is out here on the table. You've got, 8 ounces of gold, we've got 8 sovereigns, and then we've just got a giant pile of silver with kilo bars galore. So let me know what you think the total amount is down in the description. I've said it again, oh my God, I can't avoid it. Anyway, comment section, go, find it, make a comment, you know how to do it. So yeah, for sale, links in the description. Whilst you're on our website, if you're interested, we have limited stock remaining of our 1 ounce forum bars and channel bars. Anything that you buy of those goes to directly support us here on this channel and everything that we do and our business and the Bias Club. Without the core business of what I do, I wouldn't be here with this wonderful platform and this wonderful group of people, you in the camera. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna take these gloves off now. It feels so wrong to be wearing gloves with silver, but I am going to be being careful with this because it's not my silver, but things like the Geiger I can touch and enjoy. And if it's not sold, those bolt cutters might come out, so go and rescue it if you're interested. That's it from me. Thanks all for watching. If you're interested, as I said, links in the description to our website. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks to the Backyard Bullion members who are just super extra special cool. We love you. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.